The movie starts with a scene showing two snakes, one white and one green. These snakes are sisters and have been alive for more than 1,000 years, even though they still look young. The white snake's name is Xian in Chinese. Both sisters have the magical power to change into human form. One day, while they are on a mountain, they meet a boy named Xian. He is tasting the flowers on the mountain, and both snakes are surprised to learn that humans can actually eat flowers. In reality, Xian and his friends had come to the mountain to find different medicinal plants. As Xian walks through the mountains, he gets scared when the green snake shows up in her snake form. Terrified, he accidentally falls down the mountain and into a river. Seeing this, the white snake, Xian, feels bad for Xian and his situation. The white snake, Xian, feels sorry for Xian and his situation. She changes into her human form and goes into the river to save him. She breathes into his mouth to bring him back to life. After saving him, she quietly leaves. When Xian wakes up, he finds all his friends around him. He asks them about the girl who rescued him, but his friends tell him they didn't see any girl. They think he must have imagined it. Later that day, there was a festival happening in the village. The master of the temple and his friends were going to the festival too. They suspected that monsters might attack humans during the festival. Xian was also going in that direction to gather herbs, so he took his friends with him. Meanwhile, Xian, the white snake, couldn't stop thinking about the moment she saved Xian's life by giving him her breath. Xian, the white snake, couldn't stop thinking about Xian. In fact, she had fallen in love with him. She told her sister, the green snake, that she wanted to see Xian again, so both of them decided to go to the festival in the village where Xian would be. That same night, the master of the temple and his companions arrived at the festival. Fully prepared, they were ready because they believed monsters might attack humans at any moment. At the festival, the green snake met one of the master's companions. She liked him and wanted to be friends. However, he told her, "I can't talk to you right now because I'm here to catch monsters." He had no idea that the girl trying to be his friend was actually a monster herself. Later, the green snake saw Xian. He went up to him and told him that her sister, Xian, loved him and wanted to meet him. Xian says, "I don't know your sister," and refuses to meet her. The green snake becomes upset and falls into the river. She pushes Xian's boat, forcing him to go where her sister is waiting. When Xian reaches Xian, she tells him that she loves him, but Xian replies, "I love someone else. I don't know who she is, but she saved my life by giving me her breath." Hearing this, Xian realizes that Xian is talking about her. She understands that he loves her just like she loves him. To prove this, Xian takes Xian back into the river to show him that she is the same girl who saved his life. Now, Xian also realizes that Xian is the girl he has been thinking about. The companions of the master find some monsters and bravely fight them. During the battle, one of the monsters injures the master's companion, who then calls for help. The master arrives to help and uses his power to send the monsters to hell, where they are burned to death. The next day, Xian visits Xian's house. He is very happy to see her there, and they start living together. Eventually, they fall in love and decide to get married. However, on the day of the festival, one of the master's companions who was bitten by a monster begins to change into one himself. He feels very upset and tired of his life because he knows that if he becomes a monster, he will be a danger to humans. The master's companion decides to go to a deserted place to end his life. As he is about to do this, the green snake appears and asks him why he wants to take such a drastic step. She stops him and listens to his reasons. He replies, "I will become a monster. I can't be a danger to humans, so I want to end my life." Hearing this, the green snake reveals her true nature. She shows him her snake tongue and says, "Don't worry, if you become a monster, I am a monster too." Meanwhile, the master goes to the village and finds many people who have been harmed by the monsters. They are struggling and in great trouble. To help, Xian gathers herbs to try to save their lives. Xian knows that the monsters are very powerful and dangerous, and just using herbs won't be enough to cure the victims. To save her husband and the villagers, Xian decides to make a powerful medicine using the medicinal plants. Xian had a rat that was her friend. The rat said to her, "What are you doing, Xian? Don't you realize that giving your breath to help others is dangerous for you? It will make you weak." But Xian wanted to help her husband and the villagers, so she decided to continue. When Xian gives the villagers the herbal medicine, they start to heal. This surprises the master because he thought it was impossible to cure them. He watches in shock as the villagers improve and becomes puzzled by how this happened. He asks Xian if anyone helped him prepare the herbs, and Xian replies, "Yes, my wife helped me." The master realizes that Xian's wife isn't a normal human, but a monster. To protect Xian, the master gives him a holy knife for his safety. After that, the master goes to find Xian. The master asks Xian why she is doing this. He says, "You married a human even though you're a monster. Why do you live among them like a human? I won't say anything bad about you because you are a good monster, but you should leave Xian. If you don't, things will end badly for you. I'll kill you if I have to." With that, the master leaves. That night, when Xian comes home, he brings a special medicated wine that can heal snake venom. Since Xian is a snake, he gives her the wine to drink as well, but after she drinks it, she starts to feel strange, and her condition worsens. She locks herself in a room. Xian is worried and asks her, "Why are you acting like this? Are you mad at me?" Xian can't control herself anymore, and turns back into a snake. To help, the master also comes to the house. Xian and Xian face each other. In a moment of confusion, Xian accidentally stabs Xian with the holy knife the master had given him, not realizing that the white snake is actually his wife. After getting stabbed, Xian goes to her sister, the green snake, but she can't change back into her human form because of the injury from the holy knife. This means she will remain a snake forever. Xian asks the master about his wife, and the master reveals, "This white snake was your wife. You married a snake who is over 1,000 years old." Xian is shocked to learn this truth. Then, Xian's rat tells Xian about a special herb that can save Xian's life. However, getting that herb is very risky and dangerous because monsters have taken over that area. Despite the danger, Xian decides to go and find the herb. While searching for it, Xian is attacked by monsters. The master's companions rush in to help and try to save Xian from the monsters. The rat finds the special herb and gives it to Xian, which saves her life. Now, she can change back into her human form. Once she recovers, Xian attacks the master and his companions because she realizes they want to keep her and Xian apart. Somehow, she manages to bring Xian to a safe place. She asks him if he's okay, but Xian has lost his memory and can't remember anything, not even his wife, Xian. Xian then asks the master, "What did you do to my husband Xian? Why has he forgotten me?" Luckily, Xian's memory comes back, and he becomes normal again. However, since Xian is a monster, the master uses his powers to create an ancient house and imprisons her inside it forever. It becomes impossible for her to leave that house. Xian spends the rest of his life outside the house, waiting for his wife to return. Meanwhile, one of the master's companions has also turned into a monster, but he is a good one and stays with the other monsters. And that's how the movie ends.